10 Best Ab Exercises to Get Six-Pack Abs Quickly. Exercise 1. Exhale and lift your upper back and shoulders off the floor by contracting your abs. Keep your chin slightly tucked and avoid pulling on your neck. Focus on using your core muscles rather than your arms or momentum. Pause briefly at the top when your shoulder blades are off the ground, ensuring maximum abdominal contraction. Inhale and slowly lower your upper body back to the starting position, maintaining control. Keep slight tension in your abs and avoid fully relaxing between reps. Your head, shoulders, and upper back should return to the floor, ready for the next repetition. Exhale and rotate your torso to one side, moving your hands or weight toward the floor next to your hip. Keep your core engaged and move with control rather than swinging. Inhale and rotate your torso back to the center. Exhale and twist to the opposite side, keeping the movement smooth. Keep your hips stable and avoid excessive movement in the lower body. Your chest and shoulders should rotate, not just your arms. Return to the center position after completing reps on both sides, keeping core tension throughout. Exhale and contract your abs, lifting your upper back and shoulders off the bench. Keep your chin slightly tucked and focus on bringing your ribcage toward your pelvis. Avoid using your neck or arms to pull yourself up. Pause briefly when your shoulder blades are off the bench and your abs are fully contracted. Inhale and slowly lower yourself back down, maintaining core engagement. Avoid fully relaxing at the bottom. Keep tension in your abs for continuous activation. Return to the starting position with your back flat on the bench, keeping core tension throughout. Exhale and lift your legs toward one side, keeping them together and slightly bent. Twist your hips to the side to engage the obliques. Lift your knees as high as possible, ideally reaching waist or chest level. Pause briefly when your knees are at the highest point, ensuring maximum oblique contraction. Inhale and slowly lower your legs back to the starting position, maintaining control. Avoid swinging or using momentum. Perform the same movement to the opposite side, alternating between reps or sets. Return to the dead hang position, keeping tension in your core before the next repetition. Exhale and lift both legs upward while keeping them straight and together. Raise your legs until they reach a 90-degree angle, perpendicular to the floor, or as high as you can without discomfort. Pause briefly at the top, keeping your core tight and avoiding excessive movement. Inhale, and slowly lower your legs back down toward the floor while maintaining control. Stop just before your feet touch the ground to keep tension in your abs. Your legs should be hovering just above the floor, keeping your core engaged before starting the next repetition. Exhale and contract your abs to lift your hips off the ground, bringing your knees toward your chest. Keep the movement controlled and avoid using momentum. Focus on lifting with your core, not just swinging your legs. Pause briefly at the top when your hips are slightly off the ground, ensuring maximum ab contraction. Inhale and slowly lower your hips and legs back to the starting position. Keep your knees bent and feet hovering slightly above the floor to maintain tension in the abs. Your legs should return to the 90-degree starting position, keeping core tension throughout before the next repetition. Lie on your back with your knees bent at 90 degrees and feet lifted off the floor. Place your arms at your sides or under your lower back for support. Engage your core. Exhale and lift your hips off the ground, bringing your knees toward your chest. Avoid using momentum. Focus on controlled movement. Slowly lower your hips back down without letting your feet touch the ground, keeping tension in your abs. Repeat for the desired number of reps. Keep your lower back pressed to the floor to avoid strain. Use your abs to lift, not your legs. Move slowly and with control. Modify by performing smaller lifts or keeping knees slightly bent. Lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Place your hands behind your head with elbows wide. Engage your core. Exhale and lift your upper back while bringing one elbow toward the opposite knee. At the same time, extend the other leg straight out, keeping it slightly above the floor. Pause for a moment, then return to the start in a controlled manner. Switch sides and repeat. Keep your movement slow and steady, focusing on your obliques. Avoid pulling your neck. Use your core to lift. Keep your lower back pressed to the floor to prevent strain. Move with control rather than speed. Modify by keeping both feet on the floor and performing a smaller crunch. Start in a forearm plank, with elbows directly under your shoulders, body in a straight line. Engage your core and glutes. Lift one foot and tap it slightly out to the side, then return to the center. Repeat with the opposite foot and continue alternating. Keep your torso steady and avoid rocking your hips. Focus on maintaining a tight core and even breathing. Don't let your hips drop or sway excessively. Perform slow, controlled taps rather than rushing. Engage your glutes and thighs for extra stability. If this is too challenging, reduce the range of motion or perform the exercise in a high plank position with arms extended. Lie on your back with legs extended and arms at your sides. Engage your core. Lift your legs straight toward the ceiling, then push your hips upward, lifting your lower back slightly off the ground. Pause briefly at the top, ensuring full abdominal contraction. Slowly lower your hips and legs back down, keeping control throughout the movement. Avoid letting your feet touch the floor between reps. Use core strength, not momentum, to lift. Keep the movement controlled and avoid arching your lower back. Exhale as you lift and inhale as you lower to maximize engagement. Modify by bending your knees slightly or limiting the range of motion.